Ew, it's kind of clumpy and gross. Honestly, this smells disgusting.
Beijo suas mentiras. Pour les placer ton coração. Plein d'amigos me font dans ta vapeur. Avec les vraies bouteilles.
Okay, this is really exciting. Today we are doing homemade marshmallows. I haven't done these in probably 10 years, so I have my recipe right here. This recipe book is Jam It, Pickle It, Cure It, and there's just so many things in here that are kind of unique and you wouldn't typically think to make. So anyways, we have our homemade marshmallows. It comes in these 3 flavors. You have the powdered sugar, classic, coconut, and cocoa. We're just gonna do the classic, I think, today. So this recipe makes either 36 1 1/4 inch marshmallows or 16 2-inch marshmallows. You need 2/3 cups water divided, which I have one here, and then one behind me, ready for my saucepan. You have 3 1/4 ounce envelopes of the gelatin. So I have that here. You've got 1 cup of light corn syrup, a pinch of kosher salt, which I need to grab still, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and then 1 cup of confectioner sugar, which I have in this box. And then you also need a little bit extra for dusting on top. First you need to oil an 8 by 8 inch pan with vegetable oil, and then you also generously coat it with confectioner sugar. So we're just gonna take this. I'm actually gonna pour this on a little bit of a paper towel and then grease the inside nice and good. Next, with our powdered sugar, our confectioner sugar, we're just gonna coat. Gonna do it like that, set that aside. And we're gonna just kind of rub this in a little bit to our oil. That's good, we set that aside. In our stand mixer, we actually take 1 of the 1/3 cups of water, pour that in the bowl, and then this is where we add our gelatin. So we just sprinkle the gelatin over the water. The water's in there. We have 3 packets. You kind of just sprinkle right on top. There's 1. There's 2. And, ooh, it smells kind of funny. And then there's 3. Sprinkle it in. We let the gelatin stand on the water for about 10 minutes or until we think it's a little bit softened. While that's going, we're gonna turn over to our saucepan and start to make our syrup, our little sugar. So we have our saucepan here. We put that on medium to low heat. And then we can add our other 1/3 cup of water. We add our cup of corn syrup. And then our cup of sugar goes right in this little mixture. Ew, it's kind of clumpy and gross, but we're gonna get it mixed up. I'm gonna grab a whisk to see if I can't break up some of these clumps of sugar. A definite tip going forward would be probably to shift your powdered sugar, your confectioner sugar, before you add it to this mixture. I think the whisk is definitely helping, but I think note to self, next time make sure I sift it in so I don't have to deal with the clumps. Turn it up to a medium-high heat and we let that go for a little bit. Normally you'd clip a candy thermometer to the side of your saucepan, but I don't have one right now, so I'm just going to use this other thermometer and periodically check the temperature. We needed to get it to 240 degrees Fahrenheit. Right now we're sitting at about 120 degrees. I do have an induction stove, so it heats up rather quickly. If you have a traditional gas stove or electric, it might take you a little bit longer, but I think this is going to be done probably in about the next 3 to 5 minutes. We're getting close. It's about 200 degrees. You can kind of see, but let's check on our gelatin mixture. Honestly, this smells disgusting. I don't know. I've never really cooked with gelatin and it smells gross. It's literally just the gelatin in the packets. Oh, gross.
Pour la place sans peine de mirage. Le vent dans ta voix pas, tes yeux nagent. Le vois sur mon visage. Non, 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 je
It's been about 11 or 12 minutes, roughly. Oh, wow. Look at that. Oh. Whoa. Do you want to try it, Mom? I think it's pretty good. Okay, so now we have to transfer it actually into our pan, which is going to be hard because it's really sticky. So, with wet hands, they said, and a lightly oiled spatula, which I have. I'm just going to scrape it. It's still kind of hot, so I can't really touch the bottom of the pan, but you can kind of see. I'm going to set this aside for about an hour so it just kind of makes it a little cooler because it's still a little bit warm and it'll firm up. I wish it was a little bit more even, but this is what we're working with. I'm trying to get it kind of press as much as we can here, but I think that's the best we're going to do. So I'm going to set this aside for about an hour and then we'll come back and we will see how we do. So you saw me bring the marshmallows out of the pan and then we cut them up into squares, and I think I got about 30. I didn't get the full 36, but that's okay. Then we coated them in powdered sugar. Tip, I thought we had to get them wet and then powdered sugar. No, then it won't stick, so make sure they're just dry and sticky. You coat them in powdered sugar, and then I put them in a sealed jar so that I can have them for the week. I think they last up to a month. We just roasted them in the fire and they're actually so good. So these are really easy to make. The gelatin did freak me out, but I think they're worth it. They seem to last a long time, and they honestly were not that hard. They definitely roast super fast in the fire and almost fall off my stick, but I think we agree that these are definitely a keeper. So try this recipe and let me know what you think later this week. See, they are totally a smash hit. You see how it melts just way more naturally than like a jet puff that you get from the grocery store. Later this week, we'll be doing the graham crackers to pair with these marshmallows, so I'll let you know how that is. So once I have that video, I'll link it in the description. But for now, have a great rest of your week and try this recipe for a perfect July night where you have the best campfire.